Warning, spoilers ahead. If you haven't seen Whistle 2026 yet, you might want to stop watching. But if you love supernatural horror, inventive deaths, and teens slasher chaos, you're in for a ride. The movie opens with a cold, shocking prologue. Pellington High's basketball star, Mason Raymore, is on top of the world after a big game, until he steps into the locker room shower. In a terrifying instant, a demonic, fiery specter of death bursts forth, immolating Mason in front of his teammates. His death is the first warning. This isn't a typical killer with a knife. This is fate itself, manifesting through a cursed artifact. 6 months later, we meet our protagonist, Chrys Willett, played by Daphne Keane. Chrys is the new girl in town, moving in with her cousin Rel, Sky Yang, after a personal tragedy, the death of her father in a car accident tied to her heroin overdose. Chrys is goth-coded, reserved, and haunted by her past. It's this mix of vulnerability and strength that gives her final girl energy throughout the film.
Chrys quickly meets Rel's group of friends: Ellie, Sophie Nalise, her romantic interest; Dean, Jaleel Swaby, the arrogant jock; Grace, Ali Skavbai, Rel's crush, who is more nuanced than the typical popular girl; and Noah, Percy Hines White, a twisted youth pastor and drug dealer whose presence adds chaos and menace. These characters fit classic horror archetypes, but the film leans into them deliberately, using audience familiarity to move quickly into the supernatural horror. Chrys inherits Mason's old locker, and inside, the infamous Aztec death whistle. Known historically as an Aekachictli, this ancient artifact was found during excavations of a temple to the Aztec wind god, Ehecatl Quetzalcoatl. Its original sound was likely soft and ceremonial, but modern replicas emit a terrifying shriek. Legend, or in this case the movie, says anyone who hears it will face the death that was destined for them, often decades early. Predictably, Grace blows the whistle at a pool party. The sound pierces the ears of everyone around her, dooming the entire group. And here's the twist: the whistle doesn't randomly kill. Each victim is pursued by a manifestation of their own future death, tailored to how fate intended them to die. For example, Dean, a reckless teen with a drinking problem, faces his death in the form of a violent car accident in his bedroom, without a car. This is one of the film's most inventive sequences, the invisible force of death twisting and shattering a human body with horrifying realism, practical effects, and minimal CGI. It's the 2026 evolution of classic horror deaths, reminiscent of A Nightmare on Elm Street, but with a supernatural, fate-driven twist. The film gradually explains the whistle's rules, but not before several characters have already died. Anyone who blows it, or anyone within earshot, is doomed. Death comes directly for them, often in gruesome, inventive ways. Some deaths are sudden and shocking, while others, like Mason's fiery vision and Dean's invisible car crash, are slow, tense, and visually spectacular. The key to the whistle's horror is inevitability. It doesn't negotiate, it doesn't stop, and it doesn't show mercy. Unlike Final Destination, where chain reactions dictate deaths, here each death is personal, relentless, and tailored to the victim's fate. And the filmmakers keep it unpredictable, showing entirely different forms of death for each character. No one knows what will come next, and neither does the audience. While the supernatural kills are inventive, the heart of Whistle is its characters. Chrys and Rel share a warm, supportive familial bond. Chrys and Ellie's romance is understated, believable, and a refreshing queer relationship without drama or toxic love triangles. Grace is relatable and sympathetic, and even the antagonists, like Dean and Noah, are unapologetically dangerous without unnecessary redemption arcs. This careful balance ensures that when a character dies, you either cheer or genuinely mourn. One particularly enjoyable sequence occurs during the Harvest Festival, a visually striking set piece drenched in reds and oranges. Here, the supernatural chase sequences shine. running through booths, dodging ghostly threats, and evading the unstoppable force of fate. It's suspenseful, kinetic, and visually rich, one of the film's standout sequences. As the body count rises, the survivors investigate the whistle's origins. This leads them to Mason's grandmother, Ivy, Michelle Fairley, who delivers exposition with surprising charm. While this could feel tired in another movie, Whistle leans into the silliness and earnestness, letting the audience invest in the lore while keeping the story moving. The pacing never lags, and the narrative seamlessly alternates between supernatural terror, teenage melodrama, and investigative intrigue. From there, the film becomes a showcase of inventive death sequences. Some of the most memorable include Mason's fiery shower death, Dean's invisible bedroom car crash, a grotesque slow-motion body-melting scene that will have horror fans wincing. Each death feels unique, even when the film nods to classic slasher mechanics. The combination of practical effects, light CGI, and meticulous choreography makes these sequences feel horrifyingly real and creative, elevating the movie beyond typical teen slasher fare. Ultimately, the climax is a bit predictable, with some character decisions feeling forced, but it still delivers a sense of tension and danger. Chrys, with her strength and resilience, embodies the final girl archetype, leading the remaining survivors through the whistle's supernatural gauntlet. A post-credits tease hints at a sequel, leaving the door wide open for more inventive deaths and lore exploration. Whistle isn't just a teen slasher, it's a meditation on inevitability and mortality. The film explores death as unstoppable, personalized, and terrifyingly intimate. Combined with strong character work, inventive death sequences, and a stylish visual aesthetic reminiscent of 90s and 2000s horror, the movie manages to feel fresh even within a familiar framework. It's a thrilling, gory, and surprisingly heartfelt ride, balancing horror, teen drama, and romance, with Daphne Keane and Sophie Nélisse shining throughout. So if you're a horror fan looking for inventive deaths, a suspenseful supernatural curse, and teen characters you actually care about, Whistle 2026 delivers. It's gruesome, it's fast-paced, and it leaves just enough room for a sequel to explore the cursed Aztec whistle further. Just remember, if you ever find an ancient Aztec whistle, don't blow it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep-dive movie explanations and full story breakdowns.